Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to try to get this triple off the counter here over on one of the lifts and try to get it set up, tied down, everything so we can see if we can get it running. So let's go do it. I've got my little Harbor Freight lift here, and that's kind of how I got it over here, but I've got about 4 inches there that I've got to get it off. Got to manually lift it. Most of the time, something like this, you can kind of just let it kind of semi-fall. And then move it a little bit. And then we can get all this other stuff out of our hair there too. And I kind of like to get this back down to the ground pretty quick, just in case it doesn't like being up there, you know what I mean? But I don't need to go too far because I've got to get it on the lift too. All right, let's try that. And that'll be a little easier, I think. Should just be able to slide this one just about. Okay, got it pretty well strapped down here. I've got my handlebars taped up here, and the throttle works. And I found the little gizmo here that I was missing. I still didn't look that up to see what they call that, but that hooks our line up to the oil pump, or our cable up rather. So what I've got to do now is get the coil pack set up and get our fuel here and get everything wired up. I've got a plan for a bracket that I've got to make a little change to, and I think that'll work good to maybe mount to right here. So let me get over here to the mill and we'll see if we can open up a hole. Now I've just got a little L bracket here that I need to make the hole a little wider on one of them. So this is the quickest way to do it for me. Okay, that should do it. I think that'll bolt up for me. Okay, I'm going to bolt this. Let me see here. If that goes that way, I think I can just bolt that right up to that one bolt, maybe. So let me get this tightened up onto the coil pack here. All right, let's see if we can get this mounted up. Yeah, I think like this. Just something to kind of keep them from flopping around and keep them, you gotta do something with them. Sometimes I just put them in a box or something, but so this should be the way it mounts kind of on the bike. So hopefully we got the right ones to the right cylinder then. Then I can take my wire, my harness, where is that? Oh, right here. This is a jumper that I made. And we'll should be able to just, oops, oh, I gotta turn it around, okay. So that's hooked up. And let's see. Let me get my battery over here. Okay, I just set my battery here in a box, kind of put some stuff in there to keep it from jumping around. So then we've got our power, and on the power we need, well, let's see. I think we can just go through this switch on the handlebar. Let me just hook this one. It should just be and that'll give us a way to shut it off if we need to, hopefully, if it runs. So we got that one, and then we got one coming off a battery. So we'll hook this one with the fuse on it to the positive side, and that just, I've got that running now through this switch on the handlebar right here. So that should be good, I think. So let's see, we need a negative, a ground. So this one here will go from the battery here and go to the engine over here. And I don't know whether it would ground very good through this, so I'm going to, just like we did up on the bench, I'll take another one and we'll just hook right there and come up here and hook it to the frame on the coils. Just kind of get that pulled away out of our way there. Okay, so now we've got power, I think, and we've got a way to control it. And I think all that stuff will stay out of harm's way. So let's see, we need fuel. So let me go out and get some fuel. Okay, got a little bit of premix here, and we've got to split it off. I don't have any way to, or I don't have a splitter for a three-way, so I just kind of have to make it. I got some vacuum tees here, so let's see. If I go to that, let's see, that's not working. Let me do this. Got one fed. And that should get us two. And we got one more piece of hose here. So 2 T's will get us to split for 3. All right. Now, we need a little, I really don't think that it's going to use up the oil that we have in the lines here. You know, I've got this filled up, but I want just a little bit, just in case it runs and it's controllable enough to let it sit there and run without smoking us out too bad. This is the one I use for my, when I'm checking the output on the oil injection. Let me grab a little more oil. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm not going to put a lot in here, just maybe kind of get it started. I don't know whether that's even going to want to go down there. We've got that air bubble in there now. There it goes. Yeah, it's starting to go down there, I think. Now we need to be able to get some air in there. I've got something there that we can put in, and I think I'll just put a Q-tip to the side here. That way it'll let some air in. And maybe I just tape it up to the fuel hoses. Let me get some tape. Yeah, let's see here if we can just kind of stick it there. Okay, it's pretty well ran down. We've got a full line there. All right. I think the only other thing I need is maybe just to put a little piece of tape on my box here, just so it doesn't rattle off. Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and release our fuel. See if we have any leaks. You can see it running down the lines. I didn't rebuild the carburetors or anything. I just cleaned them and kind of, did a quick adjustment, a turn and a quarter on the air screws, and made sure the floats were in reasonable shape. So we got, I think everything's must have took fuel. I'm not seeing any leaks. Okay, I see a little seeping, maybe just because I don't have any clamps on it there. It's not running out, so I'm going to try it. And go over here and we'll turn our switch on. I guess I need to get some power maybe. So we'll get our switch hooked up to the battery there. And we'll check our, okay, got a little spark from the points. And we're on there. And I'll just give it a little squirt. And let's just move you over here. And let's see. All right, get our chokes pulled here. There we go. Oh, we hit a pop. Well, that's promising. This one here is not firing. Those are. So I just got junk plugs in there, so let me see what I can take care of here. Maybe a new plug will help it. guys. This one, I pulled the spark plug out and it was getting fire there, and I thought, well, maybe these two were crossed, so I moved them and it wouldn't start, so this has to be right. And then when I come out here and I could put my hand back here on the air horn, and she'd go ahead and light up. So evidently it's not getting fuel here on this one, so we'll have to go back into the carburetor or something and see what's going on there. But I think we're wired up right. Makes a big difference when everything is getting gas, getting fire, all that. So let me do a little research here and see what's going on with the fuel on the left side. Okay guys, like I said, I didn't do anything to these carburetors, and you know, I just the one that I knew that one of them had a bad float. I pulled the float bowls off all of them, but I didn't do anything, and I should have. You know, it's here's the needle jet, and it's got a lot of stuff here. And I'm just sure, I almost couldn't get the pilot jet out, but you can see that all the holes are clogged up right here. I'm sure the one up the middle is. And when I pulled the seat out, looks like an ant. Let me see if I can get something else to get that thing out of there. I'm just surprised that the other two carbs are working. Yeah, see all that crap in there? It looked like an ant or something like that. Some kind of little varmint. So there's a bunch of stuff floating around in there. So probably what I ought to do is just go ahead and pull them apart and make sure they're all clean. I was really sweating this one here. I didn't think I was going to get that out. I tapped on it a little bit, and like I always use my gunsmithing screwdrivers, hollow ground, and that's what it took. And I was really wrenching on it, but a regular screwdriver, it would have just sheared the top of that off. That's the way you got to go. A lot better. That one carb was just full of crap. It had that ant in the needle and seat. Running on all three, and smoke is really going down. We got a lot less oil coming out here. I had that cleaned before we started, so there's still a little bit more coming from this one, I think. I'm not sure why. Maybe seals. Maybe the seal on the crank is sucking some oil. I don't know. Anyway, it's running better. Okay guys, I think for sure it needs more tuning, but we proved the point that the machine will run, and it's running on all three now. It's idling well, but of course it needs more tuning, and we may be sucking some oil out of the transmission. I'm not real sure. The oil consumption is way down. I just cleaned the table off here again. I was going to start it up again and just see what it looks like now, but there was so much less just the last time. So I think we've made pretty good headway. And like I said, when I bought these carburetors, they were already looking about like they are. I didn't put them back in the soak or anything. I just I knew that one carburetor. I bought these off eBay, and I know one of them was they had them apart, and one of them had that collapsed float in it. So that's why I knew what was going on there. So I just popped the float bowls off everything and looked at them. But really, I didn't tear them down or anything, and that's my bad. I should have done it, because I mean, when you've got one of those big black ants crawling around in the needle and seat, it ain't going to get no fuel. And there was a lot of looked like water corrosion in there, and it was around the pilot jet and the needle jet. I just want you to take note here that we are using a little oil. I don't remember how much I put in there, but probably up here, something like that. So it is using oil out of the injection system. But all in all, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm sure it'll need rings and all that, but I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet. But it's a good thing that that we started it up and got all the crap out of the crankcase. And there was just a lot of oil and fuel and probably some water in there. I saw some looked like kind of brown stuff there too, so there's probably a little bit of rust. But everything looks, I don't think I can get you down there. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can get you down there so you can look in the exhaust ports. So there's a little scoring on some of the pistons. It's not bad. I'm sure, like I say, it was probably laying where it was laying, and dirt was coming up into it and all that, because it wasn't protected in any way other than just setting inside a building. So it's I'm sure, certainly it could use a good cleaning up. And most of this will scrape off, so I think a light sanding, and I think over on the other side I did a little bit. Yeah, I just took a little. I think most of this is the clear coat from the factory, and once you get the clear coat off, it shines up pretty good with some 4/0 steel wool there. So if you had it all apart, you could be, you could probably get that shine back on all those cases. May come to that eventually. I'm not real sure what we're going to do, but it's an awesome little engine. It's kind of hard to find these anymore. Okay guys, there you have it. I think the GT380 it sounds pretty good to me. It's louder than the Dickens, but you know, the whole purpose was just to see if it'd run, and when it started up it was running poorly. I thought I'd just go ahead and do whatever it took to get it running. I never did check the compression. It's just kind of hard to do with your hand like that. So I think it's okay. It feels about the same every time piston comes up. So I'm not too worried about that. It seems to be running fairly good. It's certainly cleared out. When I first got it, I put quite a bit of oil down all the spark plug holes just to make sure. And you know, somebody may have done that before I got it, just to try to preserve things. But to me, it sounds pretty good, but it certainly could use some more tuning. And it's just a cool engine. It really is. I'm just a sucker for stuff like that. And when I can find it and I can get a good deal on it, I pick it up. And it's just fun to do this kind of thing and get them going, see what it takes to get it going, see what it takes to, in this case, we had the carburetor problem with the big black ant in there. Who knows where that came from, but that wasn't the only thing. It was slowing the fuel flow down for sure. But we had the pilot jet plugged, and the needle jet had a lot of the crusty stuff on it too. But I went ahead and went through the other two carburetors, and the only thing I did with those, they were clean inside, was I adjusted the floats. They seemed like they were a little high to me. I'm not sure what the book calls for. I just set them at a level attitude like you normally do if you don't know what it should be. But anyhow, I'm happy with it, and made a good video and some good entertainment, I hope. Hope it's not too loud for you. And my wife thought I need to have a little festive holiday cheer out here, so she set me up a little Christmas tree, so it makes it feel like Christmas out here. And we got the Christmas GT380 running. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.